but it comes from a sense of inner purpose. So let's say, for example, somebody has fallen into the river. Do you need to be told that you have to help this person? You just jump in and help, don't you? So you just take charge. When this kind of help or emergency is taking place, you just do it. So the intuition says, I just have to help. So in situations like that, this is the point. When our humanity kicks in, we don't have to be told what to do. We intuitively know. Our subconscious knows. So this is about looking at the soul, helping the soul. We may not like the person, or we may not get on with that person, we may not agree with that person, but we need to help. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Like if you look at everything around you, right? Everything in this room has a purpose. The clock, the speaker, the mic, the chair, the lights, camera, TV. Everything we made it for a purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you here in this world? To do what? So when you do something for somebody else, what are you doing? You're elevating them. You're making them feel good. You're giving to them, again, without judging. Do they deserve it or not? Do they deserve my respect? Do they deserve my love? So actually, it's not for me to judge. My duty is to just serve, is to just give. That's why we have Devta, right? Devta, Dene Wala. We go to the temple to meet Devtas, to get something. So when I'm blaming you for everything, that means I'm not taking responsibility for my feelings. ये दो बात होती है ना. One is कोई दुख देता है, right? Somebody's giving you sorrow. The other is you are taking sorrow.
We should not take sorrow.
Yeah, we should not take sorrow even if the other one is giving sorrow. So you walk into a room and let's say others in the room don't say hello, don't acknowledge. They are busy in their conversations or concentrating. And then you get upset. You get upset and then what? What do you expect them to do?
I'm expecting someone should respond.
Yeah, of course somebody should respond, but they're not responding. So now what am I going to do? Just go into a corner and cry? So I have to make myself strong. I have to build a strong shield. And also I have to think positive. I'm not the center of the universe, that everyone should give me attention. And yes, maybe everybody is genuinely busy with what they are doing.
Great. So once again, good evening and a very warm welcome to today's session of Refreshing Sunday Evening Talk. And before we start, may I know how many of you have come for the first time? Great to see you, that you have landed at the very heart of peace in this financial district in Hyderabad. So hub of technology, but it also has a heart of silence. So you are here to experience inner peace at Shanti Sarovar. So this series has been running successfully since many years, and it offers an opportunity to give you some positive boost before you head on to your new week. And our today's topic, our today's facilitator is a very special one. She has traveled all the way from UK to deliver this. And we are really grateful to her. So before we start, and I invite her, so if there is a good artist on stage, we would like the house to be full, right? So I see many empty chairs in the front. So I can assure you, you will not be bored to want to leave the seat. So those in the back, may I welcome you to take these seats in the front, please. I'll give you a moment. You can think of she'll be distributing diamonds. So those in the front will get the most. So there is a very special seat, first row. Oh, perfect. Yes, you're welcome, please. Okay, you would like the second row. Less exposure. Any bold ones who would like to take the first seats? Okay, anyways. So we would start with one sanity check. Please put your mobile phones on silent, if not done as of now, so that you can experience fully present this beautiful session. Thank you so much. So once again, welcome to our today's session, that is Leadership Mindset. And we would like to welcome on stage our special esteemed guest, facilitator, speaker from Oxfordshire, UK, Sister Aruna Ladva. In brief, she is a senior faculty with Brahma Kumaris. She has been studying, teaching, and facilitating spiritual development for over 43 years. Yes, yes. Yeah, her life's journey has taken her across the globe. Born in Kenya, she was educated in England. Thereafter, she worked in Canada, and later she decided to dedicate her life for spiritual service, where she became instrumental in establishing Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga centers in Middle East, in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Egypt. So, which reflects her universal attitude or approach towards the Raj Yoga meditation that we learn here. And she is a certified negotiator in conflict resolution, and she trained at the Judicial Institute of British Columbia, where the police are trained and in, negotiation in the difficult, challenging situations. So she is also an author. She has written 8 books and runs a successful blog under the title of It's Time to Meditate. She's been running it since 2009, and her books are also under the title series of It's Time, with various topics which are needed in our daily lives. And apart from that, she is also the curator of Meditation Laboratory, which is a very special experience. Maybe she'll give us a glimpse, or whenever we get a chance, we ourselves experienced it recently, and it is a wonderful experience. So with this, I would like to hand it over to Sister to lead us into the journey of having a leadership mindset. Thank you.
Om Shanti. So actually, why don't we start with a few moments of meditation, and no music, but we can just have the lights down, or red light. And I'll just share a few of my thoughts, and you just follow my thoughts. So first of all, I'm doing this so that you become grounded and present in the now moment. So it's good that you've made this time for your meditation, for your weekly talk. And so now we have to prepare the mind and the intellect to receive inspiration. And so just keep saying to yourself quietly inside, I am a peaceful soul. Just slowly, I am a peaceful soul. And let every cell of your body hear this thought. Until your breathing becomes deep breathing. So we're leaving all the stress behind outside. And here we are sitting with ourselves, with love and with kindness. It's an act of kindness to give time to ourselves. So from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, just become calm, cool, and collected. Okay, thank you. So, who wants to be a leader? Yeah, don't be shy. We all do, right? And they say that if you don't lead your life, somebody else will. If you don't take charge of your time, your thoughts, your money, assets, then somebody else will. And we don't want that. We don't like being controlled. Nobody likes being controlled. But yet, we are also not taking charge of ourselves. So here, when we talk about leadership, I mean, you will get many programs outside about management and leadership and the corporate way of leading organizations. So that I'm not going to enter in, but we're going to add some spiritual leadership to your toolkit. Because, well, as I will explain, let's start with this. Here are some common myths about leadership. And just see if you can relate to them, if you think you are having these myths about leadership. So leaders are born, not made. Leaders are fearless, right? These are myths. Where are we? Yeah, myths, yeah? Leadership means sacrificing yourself completely? Not true. Good. Leaders never fail. Wrong? Leaders must be charismatic introverts. False. Because you know people, right? That are not that, but are leaders, right? Leaders must have all the answers. Wrong. Leadership is all about control. Control your people, control the masses. Right or wrong? Good, yeah. And leadership comes with a title. Yeah, there can be many leaders that aren't, let's say, endowed or bestowed with a title, but they're just doing a good cause. Right? You can start doing something, leading something. You don't have to be given a title or an award to be doing it. Right? So that's what that means. You all agree with this? Yeah? Okay. So, yeah, what is the definition? So the spiritual leader is one who has an inner orientation from which this person leads, right? Grounded in self-awareness, higher purpose, and service rather than ego, status, or control. So spiritual leadership is about recognizing who I am and what I need to do. It's not about getting certificates and awards and acknowledgement in that sense. But it comes from a sense of inner purpose. So let's say, for example, somebody has fallen into the river. Do you need to be told that you have to help this person? You just jump in and help, don't you? So you just take charge. When this kind of help or emergency is taking place, you just do it. So the intuition says, I just have to help. So in situations like that, yeah, this is the point. When our humanity kicks in, we don't have to be told what to do. We intuitively know. Our subconscious knows. So this is about looking at the soul, helping the soul. You know, we may not like the person, or we may not get on with that person, we may not agree with that person, but we need to help. So this is one example. There are many examples, but this is one such example. So, just to say that, yeah, underlying the spiritual leadership mindset is a set of belief systems and values. Okay, so this is what we're going to look at in depth now. So first is inner governance before outer governance. Am I leading myself? Who's going to believe that you can lead if you cannot lead yourself? Like if I am not the example of managing myself, managing, let's say, my food, my time, even managing my relationships, so being polite, respectful, kind, managing my money. Let's say I throw away my money. Is somebody going to give you their money to look after? Yeah, so same here, right? Like at the B case. So if you see that somebody's wasting money here, do you feel like donating? No. Because you think, why should I give? They're wasting money. But when you see that your money is being put to good use, then you say, no, let me give to them because they know how to use it well. Right? So it's the same concept. As it says, you cannot guide others if you are not guiding your own thoughts, emotions, and impulses. So Rumi, this is famous quote by Rumi. So yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. And this is really all the philosophy of Brahma Kumaris, that here we change ourselves, we look at ourselves. You know, we also have this slogan, when you change, the world changes. But it's not the world literally changes, but your drishtikon, your vision, your outlook, your attitude, everything about you changes. So you see everything in a different way. And this morning we were talking about this aspect of how really everything that happens has a purpose, has a reason. And so to trust that there must be a good reason behind what is happening. जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, हर बात में कल्याण है. Right? So to keep that in your mind, that like really one girl now in India, Madhuban, Mount Abu, so she actually like broke a leg, but she's saying, I'm so grateful because now I can have a good break. Like she can have a holiday. So what seems wrong, what seems off, is actually now in her favor. Okay? So anyway, we have to change our mindset, but yeah, we have to work on managing ourselves. So more about this as we progress. So purpose before position. So why am I doing what I'm doing? Like if you look at everything around you, right? Everything in this room has a purpose. The clock, the speaker, the mic, the chair, the lights, camera, TV. Everything has we made it for a purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you here in this world? To do what? How many of you would say that you know your purpose? Can you raise your hand? Okay, few people. So rest of you are thinking about it? So yeah, really take time. Come for a retreat here. Maybe, Vasantaben, we can have a retreat on finding your purpose. Yeah. So come to one of those retreats and, they'll take you through a series of questions where you you change, but you have to first recognize yourself. What are your skills, your talents? What gifts have you come with into the world? Right? So every one of us has a special quality. And we're here to share that quality. Don't just respond to life and what's happening. You have to create. You have to initiate. This is when you say, I'm living by or leading my purpose. Samajh rahe ho na? Yeah? So think about this. This is a very deep question. And it's not that the purpose is handed to you. No, it has to be ignited from inside of you. Something you enjoy doing. And when you start living your purpose, you are so happy. Right? Because you're doing what you want to be doing and you are in alignment. Your thoughts, your words, your deeds are in alignment. And that's what gives us the most happiness when we're doing what we really want to be doing. Like I know so many people in IT who don't want to be in IT, they want to be an artist. And it doesn't match. So their body is there, but their mind is playing the sitar or violin or something else. Or thinking of acting or something creative. That's what I mean. We have to get in alignment, right? With what we're doing. So find your purpose. It's very important. So service over self-importance. So this is about giving now, giving back to the community. Again, I'm not living for myself. I'm here to be of service, seva. This is what's nice about Bharat, is we have this notion of seva, seva bhav. So when you do something for somebody else, what are you doing? You're elevating them. You're making them feel good. You're giving to them, again, without judging. Do they deserve it or not? Do they deserve my respect? Do they deserve my love? So actually, it's not for me to judge. My duty is to just serve, is to just give. That's why we have Devta, right? Devta, dene wala. We go to the temple to meet Devtas, to get something. But people are also coming to us for something. But then we say, no, you're not worthy of my love. You're not worthy of my respect. You're not worthy of my kindness. I'll find somebody else who's worthy of all my time and attention. So that's not right. That's not seva bhav. Give to whoever comes in front of you. And this is our philosophy. Anyone who, anywhere in the world, not just in India, anyone who comes to any of the Brahma Kumari's door will never go away empty-handed. So they'll have some prasad, they'll have some sweet. We actually say toli and boli. So toli is some sweet, boli is some sweet words. Somebody will sit down and speak to them. So even at the retreat center where I'm staying in Oxford, which is actually quite remote, but still people turn up at any time, unannounced. And still we say, okay, come, let's spend a few minutes with you. So anyway, yeah, this service is tied into purpose. When you find your purpose, you will want to give. And what do we say about customer service? Customer is always right. In other words, listen to what they want. So here too, you can't give, chappan bhog or chappan bhojan to somebody when they're really just thirsty. So this is where you have to feel the pulse. What does this soul want? Maybe they just want Shanti. They don't want all these words. Maybe they just want some love and attention. So, okay, just give them some time and attention. Right? Seva bhav. It's very important. Okay, this is very important. Responsibility over blame. So, blame and responsibility are opposites. So just think about it. If I'm blaming you for my unhappiness, then what am I saying? That only you can make me happy. If I say because of you I'm sad, then that means only you can now make me happy. Because now I've given all my happiness to you and taken all your sorrow, so now only you are responsible. Is that true? Is that true? Hello? If you make me unhappy, then you have to make me happy. That's not true, right? Yeah. So when I'm blaming you for everything, that means I'm not taking responsibility for my feelings. ये दो बात होती है ना. One is कोई दुख देता है, right? Somebody's giving you sorrow. The other is you are taking sorrow.
We should not take sorrow.
Yeah, we should not take sorrow even if the other one is giving sorrow. So you walk into a room and let's say others in the room don't say hello, don't acknowledge. They are busy in their conversations or concentrating. And then you get upset. You get upset and then what? What do you expect them to do?
Expecting someone should respond.
Yeah, of course somebody should respond, but they're not responding. So now what am I going to do? Just go into a corner and cry? So I have to make myself strong. I have to build a strong shield. And also I have to think positive. You know, I'm not the center of the universe, that everyone should give me attention. And yes, maybe everybody is genuinely busy with what they are doing. Right? So I can't expect this of others. So this is my ways thinking, that why did somebody not give me attention? This is how we take sorrow. We read into things, create waste thoughts, and then we feel sorry for ourselves. Okay, let's take another example where somebody's, your friends, right? Your good friends are putting on a party, but they didn't invite you. Do you take sorrow? They're saying yes. What do you feel? Tell me. Yeah, why am I not invited? But what's the feeling? That's the thought. What's the feeling? For some reason, yeah, that's good. You're getting warmer. Yeah, okay. They don't think that I'm a priority, that they should invite me. Why should they invite me? Why should they invite me? Huh? What less? Hopeless.
Worthless.
Oh, worthless. You feel worthless. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm asking you is, what is really hurting? Feeling of rejection, and therefore actually my ego.
The matter does not pertain to us.
Not getting return same affection.
Yeah, okay, you think you've given them affection, you're not getting the same back.
That's why we are expecting to right.
Yeah. Okay, good. Saving gift. They are saving a gift. Oh, you're saving a gift by not going, yeah. That's good. Positive thinking. So, actually, yeah, it's my ego that's feeling hurt. Right? The ego, the big ego, always putting its head up, right? Me, I. So, okay, fine, I acknowledge I have an ego, it's getting hurt, but you have to turn this around. And really, if you have a purpose, if you are serviceable and somebody doesn't invite you, you don't mind, because you are a busy person and you need your time and space. Because this is how I feel now. If somebody doesn't invite me, I say thank you very much, because I've got many things to do. But if you're empty from inside and you're looking for recognition from others, approval from others, and this doesn't happen, then we get upset. We take sorrow. Okay? So don't do this to yourself. Be kind. And yes, there may be many reasons. In fact, even recently on Mount Abu, so we had a Pani Puri party. Okay? And there was about 25 of us girls from London. And one girl from London didn't get the message. So she said to me, Aruna Ben, this happened yesterday and somebody told me, but it was too late. And I mean, she was sweet. She wasn't complaining. But when I investigated, somebody thought they had told her, somebody else thought they'd told her, and the message didn't get to her. So I explained this to her. I said, this is what happened. This people thought they called you, invited you, or this one. And luckily, yeah, she was okay. But something like that, I'm just giving you an example. Like, we don't know what's going on. So let's not make it personal. Let's not make it about me. Let me stop to find out the reason. Do a bit of inquiry before judgment. We jump, we assume, and we think we're right. We're not always right. Okay? So when you find out what really happened, then actually we don't need to do that. But if you want to appease your conscience, then yeah, find out what happened. And then you say, okay, I am lovable. People do want my company, but this time there was a mishap. Okay? So anyway, first thing here, important point, is take responsibility for your feelings. And so I would suggest to you, do this homework of, from time to time throughout the day, get in touch with your feelings. How am I feeling? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Because your feelings are the barometer of your state of mind, your stage of mind. And if you're feeling good, then everything will be good. Everything will run smoothly. If you're not feeling good, then yeah, you won't be happy. So we have to make sure we are feeling good. So we have to keep fine-tuning that feeling with our thoughts. Because I'm my own best friend. Right? Nobody's going to say, okay, there, Aruna, take care. I have to do it for myself. Okay? So what does it say? Instead of blaming circumstances or others, yeah, take charge of the situation. Yeah, this is so important as a spiritual leader, right? Is to be able to manage our emotions. So we say respond instead of react. So respond, so ponder, means to think about. So think before you think. Think before you act. Think before you speak. How many of us just have a thought and in the next millisecond, yeah, we just blurt it out. We haven't really thought about what I'm saying. And that's where it hurts other people. Because we say it with an edge, with a tone, with a sharp voice. When we don't mean to be unkind. So this is where meditation really helps to regulate our emotions. We slow down the thinking process. And then we filter some of those thoughts. And then we speak. And then we're being kind. You can say something very difficult, but if you say it with sweet tone, it doesn't hurt, right? But once the words have left your mouth, can you take them back? Right? You can't say, I didn't mean to say that, because you just did. You can't backtrack. Okay? So if you are thinking, just keep it there at the thought level. We shouldn't even be thinking negative, but let's say, okay, you have a few negative thoughts. Just keep it there. Turn it around. Have a bit of self-respect, self-talk. Find the right words and then say what you need to say. This will help you a lot. All it takes is pause, 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 pause. Just take those few seconds, okay? To think before you think, to think before you speak. So yeah, so respond and react. So react is reenacting. Like when you meet somebody for the first time and they are irritating you, you don't react, right? You're kind, you're forgiving, you're trusting, there's a kind of positive kind of behavior, mannerism. But when you keep meeting this person and they keep doing the same thing again and again, like they keep coming late, or they keep leaving their teacup on your desk, or they stop giving you reports, or whatever, if they keep doing that pattern, then you get a reaction. Because you know, dekho ye aa raha hai, I know they're going to do the same thing. So that scene is reenacting in your mind. Right? That's why after some time in relationships, we can't tolerate each other. Because you already anticipate their behavior. You say, I know them so well, I know they're going to do this, I know they're going to say that, I know they're not going to help me. And then that is, again, the creation of our negative thinking. So, yeah, so the idea is that, yeah, when something happens, think about it. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't react. Give that person the benefit of the doubt. Do inquiry. So if somebody's late, you say, okay, can you tell me why you're late? Instead of getting angry. And maybe they have a good reason.
Transportation.
Yeah, whatever is the reason, yeah. Maybe they got held up helping someone. Or maybe they had an accident and then we don't know. But no point us sitting here having waste thoughts, thinking, you see, they're late because they want to disrespect me. Yeah. So be forgiving, be kind. It will help you in the long run. So anyway, I'll go through this and happy to take some questions afterwards. So yeah, what do we do? So we have to do a bit of self-checking here. So we start at this first quadrant. And that is, we have to define what are our goals. Which is going back to purpose, right? So who am I really and what do I really want? Who am I really? In fact, there was one of our students living in Australia and he had a phone message. Remember the times when we used to phone on those phones? So he had an answering machine. So his message was, who are you really and what do you really want? Straight to the point, right? So we need to do this self-realization, self-checking. Okay, then after that, how am I going to implement these goals in my life? So let's say you want peace of mind, you want time for yourself, you want to do meditation, you want to do seva. Let's say there are some of these spiritual goals. Let's say you want to do a startup that helps people. Okay? Then we have to take action. We can't just sit on our couch and say, yeah, I want to climb the Himalayas, I want to climb the Himalayas. I have to get up, exercise, do research, get moving. And then third, I have to, which is the what, right? So who, how, and now the what. So I have to check from time to time, is it going according to plan? And if not, what needs changing? What needs fine-tuning? Even at these places, our retreat centers, even in Oxford, after some retreats, we say, okay, what's working, what's not working? And we fine-tune. We tell them, okay, arrive after 2 p.m. Okay, leave after 9 a.m., whatever. Like, it has to suit our program. Okay, so same with us. Whatever decision I took to change, is it working or I need to do something different? And then take a stock of your feelings, right? How do I feel? Now I know this is simple diagram, but there's a reason I've made it a circle. Because circle means you have to keep doing this again and again and again and again. This is how good companies stay alive, because they are constantly stock taking. You know the example of Nokia, right? It just couldn't. Nokia was a great phone company, but it just couldn't change fast enough according to the telephone industry. And so it collapsed. Okay, Nokia could still have been in competition with other big brands. So here too, when I decide, okay, I want to do something really, this is why we need these kinds of retreats, that you come and you say, okay, am I living my life the way I want to live it? Or should I be doing something differently? Okay, so there's a couple of other diagrams. This is one of them. Okay, so if I want to change, okay? So I want to change, and so we need 3 things. We need focus, capability, and will. So let's say I need capability. I need to know that I can do it, right? So whether it's cooking or plumbing or welding or IT or law, whatever it is, right? I need some kind of capability. Then I need to focus. And again, I tell you, in the world now, a lot of focus is lacking. You know, right? If you Google, you'll find out that people's attention span is like 4 seconds, I think. Isn't it? 3 to 4 seconds. So if you have not captured their attention within those 3 to 4 seconds, they will swipe. They will move to the next thing. Yeah. So really, focus is so important now. Meditation is so important. And willpower. I should want to do it. Really want to do it. That's what we say is willpower, willingness to do it. Okay? So look at when they overlap, okay? So if you have capability and focus, you could do it. If you have focus and will, you would do it. Capability and will, you may do it. Okay? But if you have all 3, then you do it. So this is very important. This has helped me a lot in my life. Knowing these 3, having the capability, the focus, and the will, the interest to want to change. So let's talk about change for a moment. Why should I want to change? Yeah, in the world we think everybody else should change except me. But
there is a change, there is an improvement.
where there is what?
There is a change,
Hmm.
there is an improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where there's a change, normally change in the right direction. So there is an improvement, yeah. But I'm coming back to us, we. Why do I want to change? It's because I don't want to suffer anymore. Like, I want to give up my vices. I want to give up my ego. I want to give up my attachment. I want to give up my greed. I want to give up my anger. All these things make us suffer. They make us weak. Do you like yourselves when you get angry? No. So one, you got angry, you didn't like that. Then you caused some damage. Now you have to repair that. You have to apologize. That gets my ego going. No, I'm not going to apologize. Why should I apologize? And then on top of that, you have greed. No, they should respect me. Right? So we're just full of vices. So, we say in English, if there is no ego, then you can't dent the ego. Do you understand? Like, if there's no ego, then nothing will hurt because there's nothing to dent, nothing to hurt. So we all know, right, on a religious path, on a spiritual path, we need to kill the ego. But here we call it body consciousness, debhan, that I am something, you need to respect me. But coming back to leadership, if I don't respect myself, how can I expect others to respect me? So if I'm getting angry and I'm not being polite and respectful, how can I expect others to be polite and respectful towards me? I can't, right? So yeah, this is why I want to change, because I love myself too much not to change. So you should have this attitude towards you. I love myself a lot. I'm not going to put myself through those vices. Samajh rahe ho na? This is a deep point about you, yourself. Respect yourself enough to not indulge in vice. Okay? So yes, okay, you might say on the street, somebody else is shouting, screaming. To karne do ne? Aapka kya jata hai? Let them do what they're doing. That's their part. What is my part? What is my role in this drama? Okay, my role is to stay peaceful. But again, we need power to stay peaceful. And then we get that from meditation, right? Okay, so you all know this, right? The exponential curve, right? So you've got time and you've got growth. So this is again about transformation. So again, I emphasize this because going back to what I said, like I also keep checking myself every 6 months. I do a review. Like we go to Madhuban, we have our special Rakhi programs in August, right? So Madhuban is this time of the year. There's also December, January, the new year. I check myself then Rakhi time. So throughout the day, you have a few pivotal points where you keep checking. Like, what can I do differently? So that's what you're seeing here, okay? So when, let's talk from a company point of view. So when a company has a product and that product is the same, people get bored of it and they stop buying it. So like you might have seen like all these chocolates, like Kit Kat, Mars, Bounty, right? All they do is they just change the cover. Make the cover look new, so you think, oh, it's a different bar, right? Soap powder, right? Soap powder. So now it's got blue crystals in it. Now it's got red crystals in it. It's the same powder, just colored a little bit. And now you think, oh, something new. The other thing I noticed, was that Jif bottle. So before it was kind of straight, now they make it a bit slimmer, so it's easy to hold. So just little tweaks like this, right? They keep making little tweaks and then people buy it and say, oh, it's something new. Like you're fooling them, right? You're fooling the public. So what I'm saying for us, on this spiritual life, and I've been on it a long time, so you have to keep finding your newness. You have to find your own newness. You have to find your own inspiration. In that sense, you have to take leadership of your newness. Do you see? Don't wait for others to create or ignite your newness. So anybody who can always stay creative and happy will keep growing because you find your way. Okay? You find your way out of the boredom. And you'll always be looking at life positively because you know that I found my way. Okay? So that's the curve here. So if I want to grow with time, I have to keep finding newness. Everyone understand that? Yeah? Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. There was all this, yeah. So you need creativity, you need authenticity, resilience, and inner work. So all these things help to create the newness, right? Creativity, be creative, see things in a new way. Be authentic, make deep, meaningful changes. Be resilient, strong. And inner work. Inner work is, again, this thing of every day looking at the self. Am I having the right thoughts? Am I thinking about others with Shubh Bhavna and Shubh Kamna? Am I living a life of purpose? Right? Am I adding new content, positive content to my mind, my soul? Otherwise, it's just the old regurgitating inside. Okay? So, in essence, a spiritual leadership mindset is leading from alignment, right? So alignment is aligning everything, yeah, with your higher self, right? With God, with the right motive, intention, rather than from fear, ego, or insecurity. So real leadership is about knowing who I am and what I need to do in this world. There's a reason why we say we are human beings. Human being, right? But we are not being. We are just humans. So lately I've been saying that being is also a verb, like walking and talking and eating. So I need to be, being, which means just sit. Shanti se beto. Can you take out time for silence and stillness in your life? Or do you always feel like you need to be doing something? Or if you're not doing something, you need to be watching the TV. Or you need to be watching YouTube. No, you don't. Just sit still. Sit quietly with yourself. This is how we accumulate power. When I'm watching, when I'm eating, when I'm walking, I'm utilizing the power. Right? So your phone, I don't have my phone, but when you have your phone, it's not on the charger. The apps are using the power, right? You think it's just phone is sitting there. But if your phone is just sitting there for 2 days, will it still have power? No. So that means it's using up power. So I also need to recharge myself. So what is your method to recharge yourself? How do you recharge yourself? Did everybody eat today? Anybody who didn't eat? Everybody ate, right? Okay. So what did you do? You fed your body. Yeah, you charged your body. You fed your body. What did you feed your soul? Huh? Came here at the end of the day. Think about what it is. You should feed your soul first thing in the morning. Get that out of the way. Right? I try to do all my good regimes in the morning. So get your chlorophyll in the morning, or your apple cider vinegar in the morning, or drink your water in the morning, or whatever. Like, get your regimes done in the morning, then you know, okay, I've done that. So same with the soul. We have early morning class, meditation, And we're just empowering our soul for the rest of the day. Right? So just as you go to the gym and you exercise your muscles, so here in the morning we are exercising the muscles of our mind. So anything that comes, I'm able to be flexible. You know, the problem is when you go to the gym, you can see the body toned, right? But here you can't see the soul toned, but you can feel the soul toned. You can feel when somebody's calm and has a good vibration. So that takes time to cultivate. But you need to give that time because you will be happier for it. You will commend yourself for doing this inner work. And that's where you have to take charge of your life. And this is not taught in any school textbook or, your boss will not tell you even, go do some meditation. Go get calm. Go sit still, right? Your boss is not going to tell you that. But you know that I need to do this for myself because then I can give more back. When you are charged, you can give more back to the community, to the people around you. Isn't that true? Yeah. So never be depleted of energy, okay? Take charge of your life and charge your battery. Okay, so I'm happy to take a few questions now. And oh yeah, this is my blog if you want to go and have a look. There's lots of articles on there. There's also a free download of conflict resolution book that I wrote some years ago, and it's being downloaded every day. And lots of tips and tools in that as well. So before we do meditation, any questions, comments? Do you agree with what I said? Are you going to do what I said? G, take the mic. Can he have a mic? Go ahead.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we meditate with closing our eyes?
Can we meditate with closing our eyes? Yeah. So see, we practice open eye meditation. And the reason for that is because we live life with open eyes. So we have to learn to focus our mind. Now you let everybody close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. And now I'd like you to focus on that screen in front of you. Can you do that? No. You're imagining, but you're not literally focusing. So when we have our eyes open, and I'm looking at a point, then initially it's just my eyes resting on that point. But then I create an inner focus. So I say, okay, what do I want to meditate on? So maybe I want to meditate on Shanti, or love, or kindness, or sending good vibrations to someone. So I'm looking there, but my real attention is inside. And I'm managing my thoughts. So this is a practice I'm cultivating, okay? So when I'm out in the world, I'm looking, I'm doing things, but inside, again, I'm managing my thoughts, taking charge, taking control of my thoughts. Do you see? Sir, are you understanding? Yeah. Yeah, let's give somebody else a chance. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, go on then. Yeah. Let him...
Like that,
1 second. Take the mic, please.
if we concentrate like that on the light continuously, it won't affect our eyesight?
No. No, because This is why we actually turn the lights down so that, your eyes are not straining. So that's why we turn the lights down, or we have red light, so that, you can focus without these lights hitting your eyes. So you can do the same at home, have dim lighting and meditate, but no, it shouldn't hurt your eyes. Okay.
Good evening.
Yeah.
See, I want to know about ki mind, soul, and consciousness. These are three things. I feel ki there's a little bit difference in each other, and everyone maximum confused in these. So can you put some light on that?
Yeah, mind, soul, and consciousness.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if you haven't taken the meditation course, please do, okay? Because we go very in depth and clearly in these things. So soul is like a soul, right? Like the body. Now, in the body, we say we have different faculty. Like we have lungs for breathing, digestion, etc., right? But it's still the body. So soul is equivalent to body, like in that sense. It's a whole, right? So within the soul, there is mind and intellect and sanskar. Just like we have organs in the body, so these are the organs of the soul. Mind, intellect, sanskar, or personality. Now, consciousness is, you can say, like oxygen in the body, if we make it alike. And so when I'm conscious, then I'm aware, I'm alert, I'm attuned to what's happening. And because I'm aware and alert, I'm able to then create the right thoughts. So just as if I've got good oxygen, a good supply of oxygen, my blood is running well through the body, and I'm able to keep up my body well. It's functioning well. Okay? Now, the other thing I will also add to your equation is conscience. Conscience is like Vivek. Yeah? Chetana is still different. Chetana is like life force, no? Okay, so... Okay, let's say consciousness, Chetna, but conscience is that thing that bites, right? When you do something wrong, your conscience bites you. So that is part of the intellect, because it's the intellect that is judging your thoughts. On what basis you judge your thoughts? On the basis of what is morally right or wrong, right? So you make a decision to give sorrow or not give sorrow, or, kill an ant or not kill an ant, or, based on your conscience. So values, conscience, will, all this is connected with the intellect. Okay?
How to convince others? How to convince
Don't try.
When we are leader,
Don't try.
when we are team leader, so all members to be convinced with each other.
Yeah, but when it feels right, when it feels true, everybody will agree. And really, if everybody's not agreeing, it's not meant to be. It's not in the drama. Same thing here. It's like when something is like a project is not meant to happen, then there'll be one obstacle after another. Right? Iska matlab ke ye hona hi nahi hai. Like it's not going to happen. But okay, back to your question practically. Yeah, so you find your facts, you go in prepared, find your facts, your figures, everything, and then you present your case and then see. But you can't force anybody to do anything. You can only invite them on board. Right? Can I force you to meditate? No, I don't think I can, but I can make it so attractive for you that you might say, okay, yeah, I want to do this. You know, it's like the story of we say take the horse to the well, okay, but you can't make it drink. But make the horse so thirsty that it wants to drink. Right? So same concept. I can only tell you the benefits, what I've gained, and why I do it, and what I get from it, and then you might say, okay, I want to try that. ठीक है? Okay, yes, sir. The mic, where is the mic? You have the mic? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, good evening, sister. So, as we all know that everyone wants to change for a better. Like no one wants to be like bad or something.
Yeah.
But whenever we are trying to change something, the very first barrier that we find is the emotional discomfort
Yeah.
that our soul, our mind, our body feels.
Yeah.
So, like for example, even for going to gym,
Yeah.
it's like scrolling a 10-second Instagram reel is like far, gives a dopamine hit than going to gym or to do anything better. So, can you just help with some mindful things by which we can tolerate the emotional discomfort that comes when we are going for a change?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, recently in our teachings, there was this statement, Vaida and Faida, that we don't make a Vaida unless there is some Faida. And really, human nature is such that I won't do something unless there is some Faida for me. We won't. Even all this volunteer work, I won't do volunteer work unless I feel हमको थोड़ा सुकून मिल रहा है उससे, So you have to somehow join the dots in your life and say, okay, you know what, by doing this, I know I'm going to get this. And then you keep the list of faida in front of you, that this is why I need to do it. So let's take an example of fasting. Okay? We all know that intermittent fasting is so good for us. But evening comes and you, chalo, thoda kha lete hain na. Kya farak padta hai na? So when that thought comes, you have to go back to your list and you say, nay, I feel good, I'm not taking salt, I'm feeling light, I'm going to wake up light, I'm going to have clear mind in the morning. Like, you have your points of why you shouldn't be eating now. Plus, really, when you give your body a rest, it's cleaning itself out. It's like आप kitchen में जाते रहेंगे, तो kitchen कब साफ होगा? नहीं होगा ने. Means पूरा तो साफ नहीं होगा, because you keep making it dirty. So here too, if I keep putting something in my mouth, when is my system going to get cleansed? When am I giving it the rest? So I made a list of my points. So you have to make a list of your points, why you should do what you're doing. Or let's say meditation. रोज meditation क्यों करना चाहिए? Because yes, हम फर्क देखते हैं. Right? So get the benefits in mind. Get the list of benefits in your mind first. Now regarding the emotional discomfort, they say no pain, no gain. So that's a good sign. That, yeah, if I'm feeling something, that means I must be changing. Okay, last question, and then we need to meditate. Okay, yeah. Okay, last question. These two, yeah.
Good evening. On an average, like I read, like human will have 60,000 thoughts per day. How do we improve like the quality thought, or at least getting 2% of the thoughts in our favor? Yeah, thanks.
So okay. So when I give the lesson of the soul, I say that your criteria for thinking needs to be the 5 P's. P's. Pure thoughts, peaceful thoughts, positive thoughts, powerful thoughts, and purposeful thoughts. If my thinking is not one of these, don't think it. Right? If it's not pure-hearted, not kind, if it's not peaceful, if it's not positive, pure, or doesn't have a purpose, hum kyun soch rahe hain? Right? So try this. Try to reduce your thinking or check against this. Take care. Especially when we get onto this kind of, as somebody said, this roller coaster of thinking. Then it's hard to stop. Okay? Because negative thoughts happen fast. Positive thoughts, you just need one. Positive thought, you say, I am peace, and that's enough. But negative thought, usne kyun kiya? Kab kiya? Kaise kiya? You know, it's never enough. So you have to catch it quickly. Okay, the sister? Yeah.
Thank you for the session. My question is, you mentioned the first step is define your goal. Yeah, you mentioned the first step is define your goal, like what you really want to do. I have been thinking from past 5-6 years, but I'm not able to identify what is that I really want to do. How do we arrive at that step?
Okay, so in essence, because, I'm not here and to work it through with you, but in essence, what you can do is, let's say you can find 50 verbs, right? Find 50 verbs. There's lists on the internet. Find 50 verbs that you're attracted to, that you love to do. Then next day, come down to 25. Third day, come down to 10, 15. Next day, come down to 5. And in essence, you'll come to 1 or 2 things that you love to do. Okay, so for example, I did this many, many years ago, and my word was to share. I love to share. And then I didn't realize that I would share in this way. I just knew I love to share my things. I love to share good company and stuff like that. So, sharing has also many meanings. So you have to zoom it down to a few things you love to do and then just see how it manifests in your life. Okay? Okay, so let's stop here and let's have a few moments of meditation and then we will finish. So I think a music nahi rakhenge, just lal light. Yeah. So just sit comfortably. And again, just thank yourself that you made this time for your meditation, for your weekly dose of good thoughts. And so right now, I really want to experience my inner peace. And so for that, I create a thought of peace. I am a peaceful soul. And so what does peace mean to me? Peace is not just the absence of conflict, but peace is a deep contentment. Peace means inner stillness, where there is no mischief, no chanchalta of the mind, where I can just have one thought and I'm just gliding on that one thought. So like I said before, let that thought of peace run throughout your body. So that means your face, your facial muscles, your neck, your back, your arms, your legs, your feet. Run the peace throughout your body. Just completely calm your nervous system. And now we're going to take a few moments to sit with God, the Supreme. And God is that supreme light. The supreme sun. And so I just connect with that supreme light, and I feel the shower of rays of God's love and light. All I have to do is sit still. Just still the mind. And then, like a laser beam, God's light nourishes, nurtures, and heals the soul. God is the only one who understands me completely, who loves me unconditionally. And I just want to sit in this deep peace, in this safety, in this comfort with God. And so in this powerful energy, I'd like you to think about something, some positive deed, positive act that you will do for yourself out of love. So maybe meditate daily, maybe some good positive deeds, maybe study the wisdom, but do it out of love for yourself. Om Shanti.